Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Friday, October 21st, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be going over a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. Talking about the injuries in play for today's slate. It is an 11-game main slate overall, and then going over to DraftKings and FanDuel and talking about my core picks for today. But without further ado, we'll get started off with a recap of yesterday's picks. On the DraftKings side, we had Tyrese Maxey at $5,200. Got to 17 points yesterday. He did end up being a miss. Not the best day for him overall. Then we had Kendrick Nunn at shooting guard. $3,700 was looking for 18, 19 points out of him. He got to 7. He was a miss. I believe he just did not play quite as much as he did the previous game. You know, these were 2-game slates, so some of these picks you're going to have to be a little bit hit or miss on. You're going to have to find some guys that probably aren't going to project too well, and half the time they're going to work out, and half the time they're not going to work out. So it's just kind of how it is on these smaller slates overall. Then we had LeBron James at $9,300. Got to 49 points, so he was a hit. We had his teammate Anthony Davis at $8,600. Looked like a pretty good value. Looking for 43 points on him. He got to 37.5, so he was a miss. And then last but not least, we had Zubac at center at $5,300. I said if he gets the minutes yesterday, he's going to pay off. And he did in a big way at 46.25 points, so he was a hit as well. So on the DraftKings side, a little bit more miss than hit yesterday, but with those 2-game slates, you're going to have to get a little bit creative and find some pretty good value plays overall. And some of the popular ones just did not end up working out yesterday. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Kendrick Nunn once again, $4,200, looking for 21 points on. Got to 7.4 points. He was a miss, just did not play quite as much as we expected yesterday once again. At shooting guard, we had Grayson Allen at $3,800. Got to 18.6 points. He was a push overall yesterday since we were looking for about 19 points out, just around that yesterday. So not a bad play by any means. At small forward, we had LeBron James, $10,800, looking for 54 points out of him technically. Got to 48. He was a mess, but, still a good raw point performer yesterday on a 2-game slate. And then at power forward, we had Giannis, $11,300, got to 59.6 points, so he was a hit. And then last but not least, we had Zubac once again at $5,500, and he got to 46.9 points, so he was a hit as well. So if you kind of went with the FanDuel lineup that was here, you had a pretty decent chance of cashing yesterday. If you snuck in James Harden like I did, I talked about a little bit in my lineups yesterday, you definitely had a very good chance of cashing. And just with James Harden and a couple other plays in there, I was in the triple up category yesterday just for the FanDuel side in GPPs overall. But with that being said, it was a little bit of a hit or miss day. Obviously, we're working on things, doing some more projections and minutes and everything else like that as the NBA season moves along. The first week's always going to be a little bit of the roughest, but still some success yesterday and looking to have some more today overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries in play for today. The San Antonio Spurs are all the way healthy at this point in time. The Pacers are without Daniel Tice and Miles Turner. Miles Turner is unfortunately out a week now. Apparently he rolled his ankle from the ball boy or something like that. Very crazy situation. Terry Taylor did end up starting last time out. We'll see if that's the same thing tonight. Jalen Smith questionable to play, but he did end up playing last time out. Aaron Nesmith also questionable to play. I believe he was available last time out as well. For the Chicago Bulls, they're without Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine. DeMar DeRozan's going to look pretty good once again. Nikolai Vucevic gets a little bit of a boost. And then Ayo Dosunmu looking like a pretty decent play on both sites as well. For the Washington Wizards, we got Corey Kispert out once again. Vernon Carey questionable, but I believe he did not play either way last time out. And then we have Denny Advia, who rolled his ankle last time after starting. This is a game-time decision, expected to play, but we'll see if that's the case as the day moves along. For the Pelicans, we got EJ Liddell and Kira Lewis both out once again. Jackson Hayes questionable to play. Supposedly was available last time to play, although he did not end up playing. And then for the Hornets, we got LaMelo Ball out, and then Cody Martin is listed as doubtful to play today. So shorten up that rotation just a little bit. Kelly Oubre started last time. We'll start once again, obviously, with Cody Martin out. Then we move down to the Orlando Magic, who are without Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris, Jonathan Isaac, and Mo Wagner, so no changes there. And the kind of surprise last time was Cole Anthony popping up with an illness, ended up getting scratched. There's a chance he plays tonight. We'll see if he's still dealing with this illness or not. For the Hawks, it's just Bogdan Bogdanovic out once again. He'll be out for a little while, so no changes there. For the Boston Celtics, Gallinari and Robert Williams are both out. Nothing crazy there. Same thing we saw the first game out from them. And then for the Miami Heat, Victor Oladipo and Omar Yurtseven both out once again, so no changes there. For the Toronto Raptors, Otto Porter Jr. is out once again. Then Chris Boucher and Kem Birch are both listed as questionable at this point in time. Both ended up missing last time. For the Brooklyn Nets, Seth Curry's out once again. TJ Warren's also out once again, but Joe Harris listed as a game-time decision. There is a chance that he does end up playing tonight. For the Detroit Pistons, Marvin Bagley, Alex Burks, and Isaiah Livers are all out once again, so no changes there. New York Knicks are without Quentin Grimes once again, so no changes there as well. Then we move down to the Grizzlies, who are without Zaire Williams, Jaren Jackson Jr., Danny Green, all out once again, and then Dylan Brooks listed as doubtful. So we should see a pretty similar starting lineup and rotation overall for this Memphis Grizzlies team. Then for the Houston Rockets, Jayshawn Tate and Ty Washington are both out once again. Knicks is listed as a game time decision, questionable play, ended up missing the last time out as well. Utah Jazz are without Udoka Azubuike once again, so no changes there. Minnesota Timberwolves are all the way healthy at this point in time. Then we move down to the Denver Nuggets. Gillespie is out once again. Then Jamal Murray is listed as a game time decision, questionable to play. They're labeling it injury management. We'll see if he plays tonight or not. If he doesn't, I assume Bones Highland starts, and he looks like a pretty decent play in that case. Nikola Jokic listed as probable to play tonight as well. We'll see what's up with him. And then for the Golden State Warriors, we got Patrick Baldwin and Andre Iguodala both out once again, so no changes there. For the Phoenix Suns, Jay Crowder and Landry Shamet are both out. Still no changes there. And then last but not least, we have the Portland Trailblazers, who have Gary Payton II, Olivia Sarr, and Trenton Wofford all out once again. So for the most part, injuries are pretty similar to the first couple days. There's not too many new ones at this point in time. Obviously, there's a couple that popped up here and there, mainly like Miles Turner, Denny Advias, things like that. But overall, most of these teams looking pretty similar to their first game overall on the season. But with that being said, we'll moved over to DraftKings to talk about my core picks for today. So we're going to start off at the point guard position once again, and I know we just played him not too long ago, but it's Trey Jones at $4,900. Looking for 24, 25 points. I'm got him projected for 29, 30 points tonight, looking like a pretty solid play. You know, the Spurs did get blown out the first game of the season. Maybe that affected his minutes just a little bit, but they are playing against the Pacers today. Pacers are also a pretty bad team, so this should be a pretty back and forth game. Then at shooting guard, we have Josh Hart at $5,400. Looking for 27 points. I'm currently got him projected for 29 points tonight. He definitely has some upside for more. He's one of those guys that can kind of score the ball, rebound, get some assists. He's a very valuable fantasy asset just because he can do so many different things and do them all pretty well. And he's a pretty consistent performer at that as well. Then at small forward, we got DeMar DeRozan at $8,700, looking for 43, 44 points at him. Obviously had the big first game of the season. Currently I'm projected for about 45, 46 points, but definitely has some upside for more as well. Then at power forward, we're going with Terry Taylor. Obviously he started last time out in place of Miles Turner. He's $3,600. We're looking for 18 points out of him. I got him currently projected for 20 points. He offers a little bit of upside for more. There's also some downside for less, but a pretty good overall cheap paydown option at that. And then last but not least, we're going to Jakob Poeltl. He's $6,200, looking for 31 points at him. Currently, I'm projected for 33 points tonight. I know he didn't do too much that first game. Lost some minutes due to the blowout as well, but it's going to be a pretty back and forth game for the San Antonio Spurs and the Indianapolis Pacers tonight, more likely than not. And he should have a pretty favorable matchup with no Miles Turner in there as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $21,200 remaining, just over $7,000 per player. Probably looking more like a little bit more balanced build today. I know I've been talking a little bit on Twitter with some of my friends. I like DeMar DeRozan, pairing him with like a Jason Tatum or like a Jimmy Butler tonight. Or if you don't want to play Jimmy Butler, you could play like a Tyrese Halliburton or like a Terry Rozier. And I think that's kind of the way I'm going to play it out tonight for the most part. Going to mix and match a little bit here and there, but a pretty simple strategy overall. If you guys want to do a little bit different strategy, that's perfectly fine as well. And then with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Trey Jones at $5,100. Obviously, we've been talking quite a bit about him. Minutes should be a little bit safer tonight versus this Indianapolis Pacers team. Currently, I'm projected for 29, 30 points. Looking like a pretty solid play at his price tag. And then we move down to shooting guard with Ayo Dosunmu at $5,000. Looking for 25 points out of him. Obviously had a very strong game to start the season. Currently I'm projected for about 28, 29 points tonight. Offers a little bit of upside for more as well. He's looking like a pretty safe play overall and one that's not going to cost you too much overall as well. Then at small forward, we got Cam Johnson, $4,300. Obviously we have the Jay Crowder situation where he's not playing at this point in time. And Cam Johnson had a decent little first game, $4,300, a very good price tag for him, looking for 21, 22 points out. Currently, I'm projected for 26 points, but we've seen games where if he's shooting the ball pretty well, he's going to score a lot more points than that as well. Then at power forward, we got Jabari Smith. Maybe not the strongest first game, but definitely not bad by any means. He's $4,800. Looking for 24 points out. I got almost 27 the last time out. Currently having projected for 29 points tonight, which definitely could be in play, especially if he's going against Santi Aldama. Should be a pretty favorable matchup for him as well. And then last but not least, we're going to Joseph Nurkic at $6,200. Should be a pretty interesting matchup between him and DeAndre Ayton. Actually, you could probably play either one of these guys as long as Nurkic does not get in foul trouble, which he's tend to do at times. Should be a pretty favorable matchup for him. Got him projected for about 33 points tonight. Definitely a lot of different options you could explore at center. Obviously, we have quite a few other pay down options if you want to play Nikola Jokic there. Definitely feel free to do so as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, $34,600 remaining, just over $8,600 per player. So definitely a lot of room and flexibility there. You're going to be able to play up for some studs, maybe even take a balance spell where you're putting a bunch of $8,700 range players in there. You could fit 4 of them in, and that's a pretty good lineup overall. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, October 21st. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks for either FanDuel or DraftKings, or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you guys have to say. And then with that being said, I'll be listing injury updates as well as starting lineups as they come out. I'll list the updated core if there is any changes to the core about a half hour prior to lock. Sometimes it'll be closer to 20 minutes prior to lock. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig's Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now, it's NFL DFS and NBA DFS. And then with that being said, if you're a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos Monday through Friday. We'll be having some weekend content as well here and there. Definitely won't be this weekend, but in the future, we'll be having some more of that as well. If you guys have any questions outside of that, feel free to message me on Twitter at CoachCraigSport. Definitely willing to answer any questions that you guys do have in general. And then the NFL DFS Core Pick video will be coming up tomorrow. Also be sure to check out the NFL DFS cheat sheets for both FanDuel and DraftKings over at WeBetATS.com as well. And then the live streams for the Thursday night and Monday night football games as well for the single game showdown slates, primarily focused on the DraftKings side. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.